Hi friends, this is your plant lover Neil and you are watching Plants My Love. In today's video we will see my terrace garden. I have grown quite a lot of vegetable crops for the monsoon season. So let's see. So as we step in, the first plant that we can see, you can see this huge leaves. This is okra plant and it's just 1.5 month old and it's grown such a vigorously and so beautifully. You can see that it's already started to form buds. And at the bottom you can see this small chili plant. These are transplanted later, so the size is not that big as yet. And there are two chili plants in here, two okra plants, and this container that I am using, if you have seen my earlier videos, I have described it. This is a recycled, repurposed container. I've used my, this is from my old washing machine drum. It had got rusted, so that's why we had to replace it. But I thought instead of selling it in scrap, why not make it a pot. And since this is stainless steel, it's still got some rust, but it's quite sturdy. It has now survived at least 2 growing seasons and it's working quite well. As we step over here, you'll see these grass like plants. These are lemongrass, and all the plants, by the way, as you can see over here, all these plants I've grown from seed or propagated myself. So the details of the propagation videos are also coming. So I'll be describing each and every plant in detail, so stay tuned to my channel. I have not uploaded since long time, but I'll be uploading videos more frequently. So stay tuned and subscribe to our channel, Plants My Love. Okay, so what we are talking about? Yeah, we're talking about this lemongrass plant. So this lemongrass plant also I propagated on my own, and this propagation method that I've used is propagation through splitting. That is, I have used a mature lemongrass plant and divided its bulb into different small bulbs. So originally I had placed 4 of them. Out of the 4, 3 survived, 1 did not make it. And over here you can see this beautiful eggplant. This plant I had transplanted later on, so the sizes are different. I'll just show you the plants that I had transplanted before. See that and this, you can see the difference in the size. So I'll step over here, and you can see over here these huge blooms, and these are tomato, what do you call it, cherry tomato plants. You can see these blooms of flower. Isn't it lovely? If I can get the focus, yeah. So there are a lot of blooms in these plants. You can see how huge. And I've grown cherry tomato for the first time. I believe in hot weather it's more suited, cherry tomatoes, and even if you do not get that much light, because of the size of the tomatoes are small, so it still produces quite a significant amount of them. So these are cherry tomatoes, and over here you can see some weird looking container structures, and over here you can see very lovely mint plant growing fabulously well. And consider the container size. You can see these are my hands, and the container is just so tiny. You can see it's just as big as my hands. And the amount of mint, you can see how huge this leaves and how much dense this crop is. The reason for this compact growth and such fabulous growth in such a small container, you can see the size of the container is just equal to my hand, is because of this. We are using a different technique of growing. This technique is called bioponics. It's something like hydroponics, but instead of chemical fertilizer we are using organic fertilizers. And here you can see if I can show you, this does not have any soil media. Let's see if we can get it. Basically what I want to show you, I don't think it will be visible, But what I want to show you is this: underneath all this dense crop is not soil but actually granite gravels, and the only thing that is powering this plant is this dripper, which has got nutrient solution. I'll talk about in detail what exactly how this particular thing works. So stay tuned to my channel. This is an exclusive video. I'll be showing how I created this bioponic system. I have actually used several iterations, after which I have come up with this design. So I'll show you how to build your own. And by the way, this system does not use any electricity, so that is the best part of it. You just need a space where you can hang this system and a area which receives direct sunlight depending on the plant that you are growing. That's it. And it will grow at the same pace at which a hydroponic plant grows. So that's why this technique is quite useful. Now let's switch to what we say, the star of the show, the eggplant, which is growing in this huge 2-tier container. I have described previously also this container medium, but I've changed the setup a bit. Instead of using a single tire, I've added 2 tires, one over the other. This is providing a better growing area for the plant compared to a single tire. Anyway, so here we go. The star, you can see this huge eggplant that is growing. Currently it's not that huge, but it will grow out if I leave it for around 1-2 weeks, given that the monkeys spare this. So we were talking about the eggplant. Somebody visited, so I had to pause the video. Anyway, so this is the eggplant, and with the lovely fruit, you can see. This also I've grown from seed. You can see this huge fruit. There are multiple of them, not one. You can see one is over here, one is coming up, one is coming up here. And if you can see over here, the flowers also are at bloom currently fully. Lovely flowers. And over here, this is a round shaped eggplant, and this is kind of a long one. Not exactly very long, but this is a different variety. So all these seeds actually I've collected, and the seeds I have not bought from any online source. I have visited some village in Gujarat, and there I found this eggplant, which was eggplant plant actually, which was almost fully dried up, and I found a couple of dried eggplants on it. So from there I actually collected these seeds, and then I propagated them. So there is a detailed video coming up on how to do this. This plant is around 3 to 4 months old, whereas this is just 1.5 month old okra. So you can compare the difference in growth rate. This eggplant takes a long time to grow from the seed, while okra, since the seeds are bigger, they grow up quite quickly. So anyway, this around noon time, so there's plenty of bright sunlight over here. So that's why the plants are a little bit, they are not quite adapted to this direct sunlight, because at present monsoon season, whenever direct sunlight rarely falls. Nowadays almost every day is cloudy. So when there's a lot of direct sunlight, they get dehydrated and they start to droop a bit like this. But there's nothing to worry about. This is normal. And when the sun then comes in the evening time, these plants get the shade from this wall, and then this plant recovers quite well. So anyway, and this is chili plants. These are also grown from seeds. These seeds I have collected from regular red chilies that you get in the market for food consumption. From that I collected the seeds, dried red chilies, and you can see how small this plant is. Quite small, but still it's young. It will grow. The chilies are actually perennial plants, so they grow for at least 2 seasons. You can keep growing it for 2 seasons. It can last for more than that, but the productivity will decrease. So for 2 seasons you can keep it. So this is the first bloom, and around again same. The timing for all these crops are the same, except for the okra. These have been grown at the same time and sown the seed at the same time, around 3 to 4 months ago. So this is the result after 3 to 4 months. You can see there are a couple of chilies you can see over here. Actually, I cannot tell whether you are able to see it or not, because the sun is quite bright and my phone screen I cannot see properly. But anyway, so this is the chilies you can see over here. 1, 2, this 3, then this is 4. Some of the plants, you can see some of the plants are having some kind of issue. You can see there is some yellowing at the top. The plants are not grown that well. I don't know exactly what is happening, but I expect them to recover after at least a month. Anyway, I've got good harvest in there. And over here also I've got 2 big chilies. You can see over here, this is 1. And remove the leaf. This is 1. This is 2. Either way, the growing container is again a repurposed rice, poly bag. They're basically disposable bags. This lasts for around 1 year. If you keep it in direct sunlight, then it will last for around 1 year. After 1 year, it will start to crack up and it will then start to break apart. But for 1 year, this is all good. You can see again, this only 2 plants are having chili at present, while the blooms are present in all of them. So again, one more tomato plant. I didn't have space over there, so I placed it over here. So these are all the plants. There are chilies, okra, eggplant, lemongrass, mint. So this is my quick tour of my monsoon season growing of vegetable and okra, vegetables and some herbs like mint. So these plants grow it's not very difficult if you know the right season for growing them. It certainly consumes a lot of time, but you can grow these things at your home like this. Certainly it requires direct sunlight, so terrace is required if you do not have direct sunlight at the ground floors. Like in our place, initially when we bought this place, there was a lot of direct sunlight in my backyard, but after the adjacent plot grew these huge trees, you can see over here, now very sparingly direct sunlight falls at the bottom. I'll show you where I'm telling. You can see over there is almost perpetual semi-dark kind of environment, semi-shaded environment. It's almost full shade. So if you have this kind of environment, certainly you will not be able to grow any of these crops except mint. That might grow very slowly. So you require direct sunlight, at least 4 hours of direct sunlight at the least, but 7 to 8 hours would be ideal for growing such kind of crops. And you can see these are some of the transplants that I had kept as a backup. They are in very bad shape because they had to be transplanted, but I didn't have larger growing containers, so they are now stagnating and they are getting diseased. I'll remove them shortly. So these are basically backup crops. I had used one backup over there when the chili transplant failed. So I'll show you step by step how I did this. So stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Plants Mallow. I hope, friends, you love this new kind of video. This is kind of an impromptu video that I've created. I'm not used voiceovers like the previous video. So in this video, I've directly recorded my voice. The quality of the recording would be a bit difficult. Some part I had to voice over because there was a lot of noise in the background. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of time required for production in the post-production time. so that I can release consistently videos one after the other, because I don't do this as full-time job. So I have to uh, make sure that the time that I consume in this project is limited, and I get the best out of the limited time that I have got. So I hope friends you love this video, and if yes, smack that like button. Bye. Tata.